Hi everyone, John Miller Garden Machinery. Hopefully if all goes to plan, bringing you videos every Wednesday. Right, today we are going to look at some of the AK range in the battery for Stihl. So the AK range is their domestic battery setup for mid-size to large gardens. Okay, there's loads in the range, but we're going to concentrate on some of the Strimmers to start with, or trimmers, depending how what you want to call them, that have been out a while. So this is the FSA 57, which is this one here, and then we've got the FSA 60R down there on the floor, and then I'll do another video at some point on the new ones that came out this year. So battery strimmers, they do what they say on the tin, basically they strim grass. Now, biggest thing to remember is there's different strimmers for different situations, and that goes for the petrol machines as well. So on the battery kit, you just got to be a bit mindful of the length and toughness of the grass you want to go through. So the 57 it's difficult to quantify a normal garden nowadays because everybody classes a normal garden different size, but if you've got a garden where you need like an 18 or a 21 inch walk behind mower, then you're probably going to need this size strimmer to go with it. Now the 57 is the first in the range that you can take the battery in and out of, yeah, in the AK system. You can put, there's three in the range, there's AK10, AK20, AK30. Everything fits everything within the range, so they kept it quite simple in that respect. They spec this one of a 10, AK10. Gives you around about 25 minutes of run time of normal grass conditions. So we're not talking like grass like this, it's normal grass conditions that you're going to deal with every week. So some of the things that probably determine what you can go through is size of motor and then the size of the shimmer line at the end. So this runs a 1.6mm line. To be fair, it's quite thin compared to what I'm going to show you on the 60 in a minute, and then the 80s, new ones that have come out, and then some of the petrol machines. So normal grass conditions, this is fine. So the motor's down the bottom. So on the AK you've got battery at the top, you have a bit of wire in between, you have the motor at the bottom, direct on to the strimmer head with the wire. For those of you that don't like strimmer wire or nylon head, string, whatever you want to call it, you can swap this head out and put on little plastic blades. They're literally this sort of size, and they just clip on. So if you don't like dealing with threading this all the time, you can change to that. We have done lots of videos on changing the strimmer heads. So a lot of the new ones are very simple. You don't have to take them apart. The string's not going to go one way, the spring's going to go that way, the head's going to go elsewhere, and in the end you just chuck it down and think, sod it, I ain't doing it. They're very simple, but I do get people's issue. If you don't do it all the time, you forget. So head over to the YouTube channel for picking up advice on doing those. I think Steve and Stuart have done quite a few of those now. We'll test this one in a minute after I talked about the 60. Nice and easy to use. You've got adjustable handle, and also for the taller people, you have got a bit of travel length in the shaft of the strimmer, all right? So you don't have to bend over quite as much. That's what it does. You can't rotate the heads. A lot of people ask about rotating the head. You can't do that on this one. So that is the FSA 57. For standard grass, like we're stood on here, you'd expect to get 20-25 minutes of run time on the AK10 battery. Okay, so that's that one there. We're now going to move up to the FSA 60R. So they bought this one out, I don't know, a couple of years ago. Bit of a chunkier bit of kit. So battery goes in there. Same options, 10, 20 and 30. You get the loop handle. It's not as easy as adjustable as that. You have to undo the screws up and down. That's not a problem. You still got the wire down to a motor. You've got a bigger motor in this one. Yeah, a bit more powerful. Which means then we can run a bigger head and bigger shimmer line. So this runs a 2mm. So this will be comparable to the first of the petrol machines that Stihl do. So say the FS40 in the petrol machine that's got the bent crank end on it. I would say you're not far off similar kind of capabilities. Think about this one. You can get another head as well that take blades. Now I'll show you quickly. You can put this polycut head on, which takes quite chunky plastic blades. They're not brittle. You know, they've got a fair bit of meat to them, and that'll be able to means you can tackle a bit stronger material without having to sort of burn the head out on the end, you know, on the motor, or well, put it under strain, put it that way. So they're available as accessories from Stihl, you know, from us. Easy to fit. You just unscrew that, screw that on, fit 2 blades at a time, nice and simple. All right. So that's the 60. Run time on this. This one, ideally, you want to run the AK20 battery. So next one up from the AK10, you'll get, I don't know, 25 minutes, half an hour out of it. Normal trimming conditions. If you were going to tackle stuff like this behind me with one of these, I wouldn't recommend doing it with this. I'd put the blades on, and you would chew through the battery quite a bit more because it's having to work a lot harder. All right. So that's the starting models in the AK range. So we're going to try the FS57, put it into a bit of work, just so you can see what it does and how it handles just normal grass. Right then, first thing to remember on all the AK range is when you put the battery in, and lots of people ring us about this, saying it doesn't work. One click is what I call transport mode, not going to fall out, but nothing happens. Second click engages the battery in, and now it's working. Okay, so the health and the safety speech, I should have glasses on, but I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. So we're just going to tackle some of the shorter grass. I'm not going to go into that long stuff because this isn't designed for that. Plus I don't want to break it, so I've got to sell it at some point. So before we continue quickly, always remember when you're trimming to keep the shimmer line as long as possible up to the cutting knife. That's the most efficient way to cut grass. A lot of people want to just come right in here and chop the shimmer line off and complain it disappears in the head. You only ever use like this bit really for cutting, so keep that string line as long as possible. When you're using it, it's got bump feed on, so just give it a clonk on the floor and a bit more comes out. So we'll give it a go, see what it looks like. Right, so as you can see, always trying to keep that, you know, out to the length. It'll always cut it to the right length. So you can see there, I've done all that trimming. I've tapped it a few times, keeping out there to get the optimum line cut. Does your short grass nice and easy. I've tackled some of the long stuff, but you can see it bogs down a little bit. You know, it's not designed to go through that full time. If you got a little bit around the edge of the garden, it'd be fine. But I wouldn't want to take this trimmer into all that. You end up just burning the motor out. Okay, so for your normal sized garden, whatever normal is nowadays, it'll coat with it fine. Okay, as I say, remember, shimmer line is key to get efficient cutting. Always remember to put glasses on. I haven't done it today, but make sure you put it on because it does hurt if it hits you in the face. And that's about it, I think. So that's the FSA 57 from Stihl in the AK range. So like always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.